Hey folks, today we'll understand the difference between inner text and text content. So let's get started. And here is a simple program that I wrote. Here I wrote an h1 tag and there is some text inside the h1, and I also embedded the script inside this HTML document only, where I have selected the h1 using query selector. Okay, first let's see what we are getting. Okay, so we are getting this, have you read the blue ocean strategy? Okay, so one thing that you might have noticed, that there is a space in here, but while the HTML is being rendered on the web page, there is no space. Okay, so that's what happens in inner text. Inner text actually gives us the result which is similar to how the HTML is rendering on the actual web page. So let's see, if I just console log h1 dot inner text, you can see in the console we are getting the text inside the h1 tag, but most importantly we are not getting any space. So this sentence is similar to what we are getting on the web page itself, no, although there is space in between in our code. So let's see what happens if I do text content. Now you can see we are getting the space in the console, because text content gives us exactly the same thing that we wrote in our code, and not what is being rendered by and not what is being rendered on the web page. So yeah, that's the difference between the two. Let me show you another example. Let's say we have a style, and let's say instead of having style in the head section, we have a style inside this h1 only. So let's apply style on any style. Let's give this h1 the color red. Let's see what happens. And first let me show you what happens in case of inner text. Remember, I told you inner text gives us the same result that is being rendered on the web page itself. So in web page we could only see this being written, no, have you read the blue ocean strategy? Well, blue ocean strategy is a book. So yeah, so if we use the inner text, we are getting the same result in the console also, because inner text recognizes that this is the style tag. So whatever is being written inside this style, that I don't have to include. Okay, but if I do text content doesn't recognize this thing, that this is a style tag or a script tag. It doesn't matter to it. So you can see we are getting style also. Obviously this this style tag, this h1 tag, whatever the tags are there, whether they are child nodes or parent nodes, that will be skipped over in both the cases. So that the style tag is skipped and we are getting this. You can see we are getting this because text content simply gives us the text from our code. It doesn't know that this is style and I have to skip over this. Okay, and that is one reason why when we use inner text it is more performance heavy, because it has to know about the layout, that whether this is style, whether this is script, it has to know about these kinds of things, no. But text content doesn't care, it just gives us whatever is there in our code. Okay, if I, instead of style, if I have my script tag in here, text content doesn't recognize that this is a script tag, and it will also print this, but inner text will skip over this. Okay, so let me show you one more example. The core concept is same, that inner text mostly gives us what is being rendered on the web page, and text content gives us what is there in our code. And obviously both of these skip over text if there are any text in between. Okay, so let's have a span here. Let's wrap it into a span. Again the concept is same that I just told you, what innerText will render and what textContent will render. This is style, and let's apply some style over span. If I do display none, if I do display none, and if I do innerText, you guys know if I give display none to a tag, that whatever the text inside that tag is, that won't be shown on the web page. So since that won't be shown on the web page, innerText also won't show that. See, we are not getting the name of the book. But if I do textContent here, instead of innerText, let's see what we get. We get the whole text as it is, because it doesn't as I told you, it just gives us whatever is there in our code, skipping over the tags only. It doesn't know if there is a style applied over it or not. So yeah, that's the difference between the two. I hope you learned something. If you do, I'll really appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel, and we'll meet next time.